Hello everybody and welcome to a new episode of The Grumpy Old Gamers. Well, today it's a grumpy old gamer. Apologize that we've been a little while here getting back to do an episode of the podcast. Been some real world type stuff going on. Next week it'll be Brian. It's been so long I've forgotten his name. Next week Ryan will be back, but for now this week it's going to be just me. So, normally I'm the comic relief of the two here, so I'm going to be looking at some screens. We'll get this done because there's a lot of news and we just didn't feel comfortable not having an episode of the show here. So, alright, it's episode 112, and right off the bat for some housekeeping, wanted to thank Buzzsprout. They gave us an opportunity to partner with them to provide to you. This is where Ryan has this much better memorized than I do. But basically, if you sign in, there'll be a link below, and if you sign up for an account to use Buzzsprout for podcasting, because you've always wanted to give it a try, they make everything super easy. We use them ourselves, and you'll get a free, is it $20 or $25 gift card? You get something. Check the link. It's pretty cool. And like I said, if Ryan and I can figure this out, you can figure this out too. So also wanted to say thank you. The YouTube channel, we hit, well, the notes from before say 100, but we're at 110 subscribers, which thank you guys. Really appreciate it. We never thought we were going to hit 10. I mean, we've only got so many family members, so really appreciate you guys, and we appreciate you continuing to check out our content here. And if you could ignore just what that all looks like behind me too, I'd appreciate that as well. So let's get the show started. I don't have the bumpers, that's always Ryan. So just pretend there's some cool music happening behind me, and yeah, we'll just get through this. So story number 1. It has been a few weeks since we've done this, so we're going way back, but Nintendo Switch just announced a new update, 14.0.0, and the big thing with this is that you can do folders. Yeah, that's a feature that everyone else has had for a long time. But it's good. You can make your own groups, so you could have like a folder for Mario games, Zelda games, favorites, old school. Gives you a chance to organize it, because the home menu on the Switch, it's pretty awful. I think we'd all agree with that. And anything they can do to help clean it up is great. Let's see here, what else we got. Volume display, a couple of Bluetooth changes. That's about it. Big thing was groups. So there you go. It's been out for a couple weeks, but if you haven't checked it out yet, check it out. Next, we got GTA. So Grand Theft Auto, or Rockstar announced Grand Theft Auto Plus. What does that do? I'll tell you what it does. Not a big Grand Theft Auto fan myself, but easy access to a range of valuable benefits for both new and long-standing players in the latest generation consoles. So it's a membership program. Cool. Grand Theft Auto, they just keep milking money out of that. It's, I'm sure there's something great about it. Go look it up. We got a link to the article on our page, so I personally am going to keep going, because Grand Theft Auto and me, I don't care too much. Yeah, like I said, I'm the comic relief here, right? Alright, next. This one I do care about. It's Sierra founders, so Ken and Roberta Williams, makers and of all the Heroes Quest, Space Quests, all those great quality games from Sierra back in the day on the computer. They're making for their first new game in more than 20 years. And basically what it is that Ken, or Roberto was speaking on behalf of Ken, that Ken was bored during COVID. So he decided to teach himself, was it Unity? Might have been Unity. Like I said, there were a lot of notes here. Okay. Yep, it was Unity. So he decided to teach himself Unity, and they're making their first new game in over 20 years. And if you want to check it out, go to www.kensgame.com, and you can see it's called Colossal Cave 3D. And honestly, it's an incredibly cool idea. Like these are the people who came up with basically every point-and-click computer game made by Sierra. These folks were involved in creating that genre, and I think it's absolutely awesome. It might be one of the few good things that came out of COVID is that they're making another game. So go check it out. Next, new Ghostbusters multiplayer. Alright, there is a new Ghostbusters multiplayer game coming out called Spirits Unleashed. And it's a co-op romp from the Friday the 13th and Predator game developers. And Ilphonic, I guess, are going to be making it. 4 versus 1 asymmetric multiplayer game, so the same kind of thing that they've got with the Friday the 13th game was one. I can't remember the name of that other game there, but essentially they're getting to be more popular. 4 good guys, and then you got a bad guy on the other side, and in this case it's going to be Ghostbusters. It's a first-person Ghostbusters game. You have the 4 Ghostbusters trying to catch the ghost. If that sounds pretty cool, it sounds pretty cool to me. So when did they say this is coming out? Later this year. It's coming to consoles and PC later this year. So check that out. I know I will. Suicide Squad. Kill the Justice League delays to 2023. Rocksteady just confirmed that. Honestly, this is the right choice, I think. The game looks really good, but I think with superhero games especially, we're all just we expect a lot of them, and sometimes we get Guardians of the Galaxy, and sometimes we get Marvel Avengers. And I think we'd rather wait a little longer and get a good one, right? Especially with DC, where I'm gonna come out and say it. When you compare Marvel and media versus DC media, the Marvel media just tends to be a little bit better, for the most part. You got the Batman Arkham games; those were all really good. But other than that, Marvel kind of rules the roost, right? So the Suicide Squad's a great IP, and honestly, want to see it do well. So take all the time you need, right? All right, next, a Unity demo. Unity released a tech demo here, and it's the tech demo was a graphics tech demo called Enemies. Honestly, the engines, I like. Even a couple of years ago, the engines looked amazing already. Like now, it's just getting stupid. Like it looks like a Zoom call when you zoom in on these people. The hair models, you can see wrinkles in the hands. You can see. I mean, the eyes look real. They got the same sort of sheen on them there. So, I mean, games never look exactly like the tech demos do, right? I mean, the tech demos are their own thing. They kind of show the best case scenario, but honestly, I think for all of us who've come from Pong and kind of see things now where they're at, it's honestly, it's just ridiculous. So go check it out. They announced it at GDC, and it's the Unity game engine. If you look up tech demo Enemies, you can check it out for yourself. Next, Gran Turismo 7 Troubles. Yeah. Yeah, this seems to happen a lot with the games where you can't play. They end up making a game where it needs to be online all the time, and then they have server troubles, and people are wondering, why can't I play my racing game solo when the servers are down? That's a great question, because Sony doesn't want you to. So, and they made everything, worse by kind of saying, "Oh, we're sorry, but things. Sorry." So they kind of came out and offered more of a response that made trying to make people happy. There's also microtransactions that are causing trouble. Offering players 1,000,000 in-game credits and outlining the near-term updates for Gran Turismo 7 that'll address the problems. So in early April, you're going to get increased rewards, addition of high rewards for clearing some circuit, increased rewards in online races, 8 new 1-hour endurance races, increased non-paid credits, yada yada yada, more world circuits. Yeah. So Gran Turismo 7. I honestly, until Forza Horizon 4, I'm a huge Gran Turismo lover. I played when I moved out on my own for the first time there. The first thing I bought for my apartment was a Canadian Tire TV stand, like a 13-inch TV, and a PlayStation 1 and a copy of Gran Turismo 2. And yeah, I hadn't bought any groceries. I hadn't bought any plates or anything like that. But I had Gran Turismo 2, and I believe I sat down and I played that game for like 5 hours and then ordered a pizza. And still didn't have any other food. So I love Gran Turismo. So I want to see them do well. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to pass on this game here. That, and I don't have a PlayStation 5 because they're not real and you can't have them. Alright, what do we got next? Breath of the Wild 2 delayed to spring 2023. Yep, that was March 29th. It's been delayed. They announced that in order to make this game's experience something special, the entire development team must continue to work diligently on this game. So, interesting thing about that is that I don't know what else what their huge game for the summer is supposed to be now. Like, I think we all kind of predicted that was going to be the big, or at least us around here, we predicted that was going to be the big game for the summer, and spring 2023 now, so I don't know what else is coming out. I guess Splatoon 3. Ryan's more the Switch guy here. I'm more the obscure 1980s games.com kind of guy. But yeah, it's a bit of a downer, but not a game that you can afford to have come out half-baked. So, and with it being this generation's, honestly, the Switch hardware is starting to age a little poorly here, so maybe they're trying to get as much out of it as they can, and it's going to be ready when it's ready. And with Nintendo, you can't get around that. So when it's ready, it'll be ready. Put that on a t-shirt. Fortnite tests and makes permanent no-build mode. This, yeah. Honestly, I am so surprised this hasn't come out already, but it's a mode in Fortnite. For anyone who's living under a rock and doesn't know what Fortnite is, it's a game that Ryan and I are horrible at. And it's also the biggest first-person shooter mass multiplayer game in the world. And the big thing about it that always held off casuals like myself was that not only do you shoot, you can build things. People would build these stairs, build these buildings, and it would become just honestly, they were building things so fast you couldn't keep up with them, and kind of turned off the casual people like myself. So I would imagine it's doing pretty well. So now it just basically becomes a big first person shooter, a multi multi-battle royale kind of game that doesn't have building. So, yeah, if you've been holding off on Fortnite because those darn kids keep building the stairs too high and drives you crazy, there's now something for you. I'm still not going to play it. I don't got the twitching skills that the kids have. Alright, what do we got? E3 completely canceled. Yes, yes. Honestly, this one hurts a little bit. E3 2022 is canceled. And E3 was the big conference, the video game conference, where all the developers and the publishers would all get together every year. And you would find out about all the newest games, the Bethesdas of the world, and the Microsofts and the Sonys. They'd all show all the stuff that was coming out. It would have this big presentation. And this year, it was canceled for COVID the last couple of years. And this year, there's they're not even doing the digital one. They may do another one. What happened, honestly, is that the Summer Games, they call it the Summer Games Festival or whatever it was, that kind of came around. Other shows came around. The Nintendos of the world realized that we don't have to wait for E3. We'll do a digital presentation whenever we want. And Sony said, "Hey, that's pretty cool. We can do that too." And Microsoft, same thing. So honestly, it's a you don't need these conferences anymore. You know, when a developer, or a publisher, or a Sony or a Microsoft want to come out and tell you about a game, they'll do it on YouTube, and they'll tell you then. So not a surprise. It's kind of the end of a legacy, because it used to be when all the big news came out and it was exciting, and you'd be looking forward to it. But no longer. The people want the instant news right now. All right. April Fool's posts. Yeah, this was a little more topical, but a whole bunch of April Fool's posts. Check the links on our page if you'd like, or just Google video game April Fool's posts. There were a lot. You know, no one believes anything they see on April 1st anyway, so... What else we got? Monkey Island sequel. Oh. Nope, first, Sony announced on March 29th that their all-new PlayStation Plus is going to launch in June, with 700 games and more value than ever. Let's see here. I missed this completely, so I'm going to do the Coles notes here. So there are different tiers. This one starts off at $9.99 monthly, or $25 quarterly, or $60 a year American. The PlayStation Plus Essentials. And what you get PlayStation Plus members. So you get 2 monthly downloadable games, exclusive discounts, cloud storage for your save games. Okay, it is PlayStation Plus. There are no changes, really. If you go to the Ultra level, and that's 15 monthly, 40 quarterly, or 100 yearly, you get all the benefits. So you get PlayStation Plus, and there's a catalog of up to 400 of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games, including blockbuster hits and third-party partners. Gaming's the extra tier, downloadable for play. Then you get the Super Duper PlayStation Plus Premium, and that's $18 a month. So that puts you well above Xbox Game Pass. Which, I mean, honestly, I know it sounds like we're beating that up, but that is literally what everyone is comparing it to. Is going to be PlayStation Plus, or Game Pass, right? So the comparisons are out there. So $18 monthly, $50 quarterly, $120 yearly. So you can get it for $10 a month if you pay for a year in advance. You get everything from the above 2 tiers, 340 additional games, including PS3 games available via cloud streaming, and a catalog of beloved classic games available in both streaming and download options from the original PlayStation, PlayStation 2, and PSP. Okay, you can stream it 4 and 5. Time-limited game trials also be offered, so... See, as much as it is, this is a level that does intrigue me because, honestly, to play it in high def, the PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 games, there wasn't a lot of other choices, right? Basically, if you had a PlayStation 3 and early 1, you could play the 2 in high def. And other than that, if it wasn't in the store, you couldn't get it. And especially PSP games, because anyone who knows me knows I have a good collection of PSP games, and I've always enjoyed it. I thought it was an underutilized handheld, which is funny because it did sell a lot, especially for handhelds. But it never really, I don't know, they never really capitalized on as much as I would have liked to, even though there was over 1,000 titles. So it sounds like I'm making stuff up here, but the Vita then failed. So it's a bit of a shame. But yeah, let us know in the comments what you think about the PlayStation Plus. Are they going to be able to compete with Game Pass? Is there a market for it? Are they a little overpriced? What do you think? So another super exciting thing that was announced on April 4th is that creator Ron Gilbert, who, for those who don't know, Ron Gilbert was involved with the Monkey Island games back in the late 1980s, is announced he's making a new game. And that it's going to be done with Terrible Toy Box and Devolver Digital, I believe. So that is... Gilbert wrote and directed the original game, The Secret of Monkey Island. And he was director, programmer, and designer in the sequel, Monkey Island 2. He left Lucasfilm Games, but then credited on Tales of Monkey Island. So the new game is called Return to Monkey Island. And it's in development at Gilbert's Terrible Toy Box. And they're working alongside Devolver Digital and Lucasfilm Games on the latest entry. It's a long-awaited follow-up. Yep, so honestly, so he tried for years to get back the rights to Monkey Island and Maniac Mansion. So okay, so he was also involved with Maniac Mansion, which makes sense. And, yeah, so hopefully 2022. I would love to see this. Played a lot of Monkey Island back in the day. Just a wonderful, wonderful PC series. Little shot of Timmy's for courage there. Hopefully it's going well here. I know it's a little bit different style of a show than you're used to here, but yeah, that's what you get. You don't get you don't get the quality that you get on some other channels, but we try. Alright, what else we got here? Unreal Engine 5 officially launched. So, okay, so since our last show, they had the demo, and they've officially launched Unreal Engine 5. And so as of 9 days ago, it's out now. So they're saying many in progress games, including Stalker 2, the next Tomb Raider, and games from developers such as Remedy, Obsidian, and Ninja Theory are going to be made in Unreal 5. So yeah, go check out the demo on just look up Unreal Engine 5 and it's right there. And again, the lighting effects, the skin, like everything looks ridiculous. Like, there's a certain point, like I know Ryan and I have always commented how when TV went from standard def to high def, how huge it was for us and how everything looked so much better. And then you got the high def to 4K, and it's like, it looks better, but it just wasn't that. It's not as huge of a difference, or at least not to us. I mean, our eyes are getting a little bit older, like the rest of us. So it's getting to the point now where they show these new tech demos, and I'm like, oh, that looks really, really good. So did the last one, but this one looks even more so good, better, more. So, yeah, Unreal Engine 5. It's pretty cool. And last but not least, Metroid Dread's second free update's now available. So they added a boss rush mode. What else we got here? So April 7th, they had version 2.1.0. So a boss road, or boss rush, like I said. You get 12 continuous boss battles. Damage received carried over. Survival rush mode, dread rush mode. Oh, so for those who don't, who thought that that's not hard enough, they have a dread rush where you face the 12 bosses, and if you get hit by a boss, you lose all your energy at once. So it's like a single hit kill. Honestly, I'm sure there's people out there who are going to speed rush this. I mean, honestly, I was watching a video about a guy who beat Elden Ring, that new Dark Souls game that everyone's playing. I know it's not Dark Souls, by the people who make it's from Software, but it's Dark Souls it's Dark Souls RPG. And I watched a guy beat that without taking any damage. Like, there are people out there that this appeals to. I don't want to play a game, practice to the point where I get that good at a game. Good to you, all of you people who do that. Full marks for being awesome. But not this guy. Nope. So yeah, Metroid Dread. One of Ryan's top games of last year, I believe. And that is that. So, yeah, we'll get to the games that we're playing. In this case, I've got Ryan's notes. He's not here right now, but obviously you can see wherever he would normally be, he's not here. But he was playing Far Changing Tides. So the second in that Far series, which I've played and beat before I started playing the other one. Spoilers for my thing here. And just an amazing game. It's on Game Pass. There's no talking. There's no violence. It is just going from point A to point B in some sort of ship. And you stop and do puzzles at different places. And it is a surreal, chill kind of game that honestly is, it's relaxing, and it's some of the best games made in a long time. And it's they're a European game company. I do not remember their name off the top, but yeah, they're great. They're relaxing. Check out both of them there. There's Far Lone Sail, and then there was Far Changing Tides, and they're on. Well, the second one's on Game Pass. The first one you can get for like $10 if you want. So try it out, and it's honestly after some hard days at work, or you just want to relax and enjoy a chill time. That's a great way to do it. So I just noticed Ryan and I both played this as well. FX Pinball Williams collection. So digital pinball is pretty awesome. Honestly, both of us grew up in the 80s, but in the 90s when we were in high school and college. Pinball was honestly at a second peak. Not a second peak, but it was peaking. And you'd go into the arcades and they'd have these great pinballs like the Twilight Zone or Medieval Madness, or and it was just this big event like Star Trek: The Next Generation would, and it wasn't just pinball. It was pinball with video. You'd have a video display and there'd be mini games, and it was an awesome time. And it's nice that they have these collections where you can play these games again, and they've got the sounds and everything. Like, I'd love to get, the one thing you miss is the feel, Like, I'd love to have one of those digital pinball tables that have the multi pinball mini pinball tables on them, and it's like a big screen, and they kind of recreate the feel of pinball, because that's something you do miss. But honestly, it's the next best way to play some of these games, and honestly, a lot of these collections are next to nothing. So check them out, or don't. I'm not your dad. I mean, I could be your dad. If you don't have a dad, let me know and you need a dad. But pinball, it's awesome. Ryan also put Earthworm Jim 2. I'm assuming that's on the Switch Online. Earthworm Jim, honestly, to me, was always like the Dead Souls of platformers. They were always very hard. That's just stuff. I'm sure he'll tell you at some point just how awesome or not awesome it was. I never really played any of them. Dig Dug 2, same thing. I think it's also Switch Online. So that was a game that I always watched people play and never got into myself. It's a little different because you're kind of on. It's like a 2.5D. You can, instead of just hitting them with your air tube, you're also breaking off chunks of land, and they can fall into the ocean there. And if you have Switch Online, check it out. Or I guess it's on the Switch. No, it's just a Switch Online. So yeah, try them out. So my games, I've been playing a bunch of Forza Horizon 5. Surprise. Been one of the reasons we haven't done a show in a while as well is I've been starting a new job here, and so I come home kind of beat. You know, you're doing a lot of learning, trying to get to the point where you can kind of contribute and feel like you're actually part of the team when you're starting a new job. So I'd come home, and Forza Horizon 5 is honestly a game that I can just kind of settle in, play like 4 hours, and just lose track of time. I mean, they're constantly new cars, they're constantly new quests, so the DLC should be coming out soon. It's a great time. It's car racing. And also, I played through, because I played through Far Changing Tides first, I played through the first game here, Far Lone Sail. And I won't exactly explain why, but there is a tie-in between the two that I wasn't quite getting. And now I do that because I rolled credits on the first one there. So, again, honestly, amazing game. The whole game runs around this, you're a little girl, and you're trying to get from point A to point B, and you're not walking, you're in this big ship, car, steam-powered kind of thing, and you're just constantly going along, doing puzzles, getting to the next stage, and the whole thing is just about constantly moving. It's chill music, there's no bad guys, there is kind of an apocalyptic type story that, you know, they hint at what's happening, why the world is the way it is. And, yeah. So, I would recommend wholeheartedly, if you haven't tried it, Far Lone Sail is the first game, and then Far Changing Tides is the one that just came out. Both amazing, chill times, and, you know, played for next to nothing. So, available whole bunch of systems. I don't know exactly what they're available on, but can play them on Xbox, you can play them on PC. Check them out. And that is about it, I believe. Honestly, them making us grumpy this week, yeah, not really much in the way of video games. Whole world's just kind of going crazy. How about a not making me grumpy this week? Something that's actually kind of nice is if you are holding out for a video card for your PC and you haven't been able to get it, you can now, if you're looking around, you can find video cards. They're not available everywhere, but they are starting to be available. at manufacturer's retail price. If you have Memory Expresses, if you've got Best Buys, let's say, they're out there. So you keep your eyes open. You can actually get a card at manufacturer's price. So that's awesome. Soon we're going to start seeing some Intel cards as well. So fingers crossed that those kind of just add to the list of ways to play games. Because honestly, the world's kind of a crappy place. That's a bad way of putting it. The world's good. People suck. Again, not what I mean. But video games are honestly a good way to kind of take your mind off. You know, just lose yourself for a little bit there, and better than doing crack. I mean, unless you're in a crack. If you're in a crack, I don't want to take that away from you either. Yep. So the segues don't get any better when it's just me, but hopefully you enjoyed yourself. I enjoyed doing this show here as well. And the next one we do, it'll be Ryan and myself, back to normal here. But hopefully you enjoyed this little take on the news for the last few weeks there. And if you want to reach out to us and ask us questions, you got an idea for the show, you can reach out to us at makeusgrumpy@gmail.com. You can enjoy our stuff on, we have a YouTube channel, look for the Grumpy Old Gamers. We have a Facebook page where we put most of our stuff, and that's, again, look for the Grumpy Old Gamers on Facebook. Got quite the nice community of people who are all kind of our age, some older, some younger, just want to get together and enjoy video games from an older person kind of perspective. But if you're young, feel free to come by as well and tell us how old we are and make jokes about us telling people to get off our lawns. I mean, we do that. But thank you again for checking us out. Hope you all have a great week. Hope you're all doing good out there. And take care of yourselves. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.